621 Nova Street in Newcastle. Back with you for our Monday wrap, keeping Newcastle investors up to date on what's happening in the current rental market. Tips, tricks, strategies to maximise your return on your investment. Nicole joins me. It's been a few in between. We've had a couple of short weeks.
Feels like forever that we've been on the couch giving
I
our
know,
Monday wrap.
and it's only been 2 weeks. So 2 public holidays. We missed our Monday wraps, obviously, because of the public holidays. But we're back here to keep you updated. What's been happening, Nick? You had a nice week off in between all of that?
Well, yeah, it was nice. It was a renovating week, so and I thought that might
Took holidays from one job to work on another.
Can I put my leave in for my next leave?
No.
So it's
Everyone's
no
not
leave. No leave. That's it. Wait till Christmas.
Yeah.
So today I thought about the education for our first Monday wrap coming back after my week off. That I actually made me think about some mistakes first-time investors do. So I didn't make all these mistakes, but it made me think about some other things that potentially
Can go wrong, or things that you don't often think about.
Yeah, they're things that you don't consider when you're doing it. And you know, what you've got in your own head doesn't always pan out, as I've experienced.
Nicole has just bought her first investment property. Big congratulations.
Thank you.
So she's currently midst renovations of that property, and
yeah, so when I went into that property, I had my own, you know, vision on what we were going to do, how quick we were going to get in there, and there was going to be minimum, you know, improvements to the property. Well, I gutted the property, so so it's pretty
nothing like just a quick look at paint and new carpet.
That's right. So, and looking back is probably not what I needed to do.
Yeah. So you've kind of over-capitalised on what your rental return could have been because you've gone too far.
Yeah. So,
or you've kind of taken, probably more so, you've taken the aspects of if I was living here, I would want.
Correct. Yeah, 100%. So, and I know, you know, my family have brought me back in line with that. You're not living in the property. It's not your dream home. So that's leading in today's as well. So the first thing I think is when, as an investor or first-time investor, is that you just don't want to jump straight in. Do your research, have a look what the market's doing, have a look at the areas, just do your own due diligence to make sure it's the right investment for you.
Yeah, and that may come back down to having the right conversations with your local real estate agent, your local property manager, about what you're trying to achieve from the property. So what's the end-term goal? Is it a long-term investment? Is it a short-term? Do you want a cash cow? Are you looking for capital growth? Like, know your strategy straight up before you go and purchase. Yeah,
definitely. So that was one of my things. Have a think about that long-term strategy that you want for that property. I think what I was thinking about this morning as well is we're hearing on the news that interest rates are going up. So for investors, when we went to our borrowing, like, we didn't go to our capacity. We want to make sure that you can still do improvements on the property. You're not, like, you want to make sure your budget and your purchase price is that, you know, there's a little buffer there
with it, and you have that buffer, because we know when, and we see it many a times, when people first buy their investment property, they've never lived in it, we put tenants in, and all these things come up straight up. The tenant will always come to you when you first move into a property with this list of repairs. Now, they're not to say that you've bought a dud property or anything like that. These are just things, without living into the property, you don't notice that need maintenance or need attention.
Yeah, so I suppose you just need to think about, don't anticipate on all that cash flow dropping straight back into the property initially. So you need that buffer there. Another big thing, and I'll be complete transparency. don't let emotions get in the mix of everything, because it does delay things. So we're going to leave that one right there.
The emotions there.
Yeah, so that's a lesson learned. But yeah, and not relying, we just touched on that, those rental expenses, like your rent coming
rental
back.
Income for your inspection and expenses. So
Yeah.
it's all about having that buffer in your account. And I always say to to most landlords, like, have a buffer of a month's mortgage repayment in your account, so you know that if expenses come in, it's going to be eating into that rental income, and you're not counting every dollar and cent to pay the mortgage from the rental income.
Yeah, you don't need that added stress.
No, you need the buffer for your outgoings and your expenses.
Yeah, And obviously possible tax deductions. So I was aware of this, and this, like, we're not accountants, so this is a question for your accountant, but all the improvements I'm doing on the property now,
Yep.
we can't claim against that. Like,
No.
you have to have a tenancy agreement in place for your future improvements or expenses to be able to claim that back. I spoke to my accountant, so you have to do the same as an investor. But the things like the aircon, I'm holding back on that until
To
we
install it till you've got a tenant in the property, and then we go and install it, because then it becomes a deduction.
Yeah, so I thought that was just a few little
And that
things.
comes down to planning as well. So
Yeah.
if you know you're going to put an air conditioner in the property, you can let the tenant know. We can write it into a condition report for work to be completed at the property and give them a time frame. As long as we install it within that time frame, we're meeting legislation.
Yeah, absolutely planning. So yeah, I thought that was a bit fitting to come back today after what I've been experiencing.
And
So
look, it's nice to discuss topics from personal experience.
yeah, absolutely. And what's been happening the last month?
Oh.
The year's just flying. First quarter down. It's just crazy.
Yeah, so we're almost at May. I almost have a 10-year-old. Let's just put that out there too. No, we've had a really busy couple of weeks, 3 short weeks, 3 4-day weeks. We've had a bit of issues with staff, whether that's COVID, off being sick. We had a couple on annual leave, and then everyone kind of fell sick at the same time. So last week was not a fun week, but we got through it because we've got a good team and everyone pitches in and gets done what we need to do. We did cancel a couple of periodical inspections, but we let the tenants, we let the owners know, and we were completely transparent about it. Over the last month, we've leased 24 properties. So we've had 1,044 inquiries, 40 inspections. So see that inspections ratio to properties leased. Everything's not leasing out the first inspection anymore. So kind of 1.25, 1.5 inspections to lease a property. Tenants inspected 277 and applications received 498. Average days on market sitting at about 5 days, 5.4 days. So average rent of the vacant managements listed was $570 per week. Average rent of all properties leased $584. So you can really see that increase in that average rent increasing over the past 12 months.
Yeah, I was
It's
just
been
about to
massive.
say that 12-month mark.
Yeah, that's all I've got for this week. 4 of the properties leased, so 16.7% of properties were leased above the asking price. Not bad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, not a bad result for investors.
Very much so. That's what we've got for you this week. If you're looking to purchase a property, have the conversations early with us. Let's plan, let's set goals and know what you're trying to achieve from the property. If you've got a current property manager that isn't providing you with the customer experience you deserve, please reach out. We just want to chat with everyone and help everyone that we can, because our goal is your goal to secure your financial freedom through property. That's us for this week. I'm Casey Healey, Director here at Central 21.
And I'm Nicole, Hoare, Investor Consultant within our team.
We look forward to talking with you soon.
Bye.
Bye.